Then I'll model up. I gotta make that. And then I'll make this like truncated loft here, and then we'll see how far up I need to go. I'd rather do that than work my way down because I can see into this thing right now. Some of you may be modeling differently. You may be modeling this whole piece before you model that whole piece. I'm doing this reservoir before I do the pot. Your call. You can do whatever you want to do. I am going to make a sketch here. Made a sketch on the bottom. Inside, I'm going to turn on my origin, and let's just use project it so I like have it on that surface right there. And I am going to make a circle. Now, how big that circle needs to be, I don't exactly know. So let's just start by making it like about 20. I am going to extrude it up. I'm going to make it a new extrusion. And 25 millimeters is entirely too large for us right now. Let's see. We probably want to make it about like 15. And to be honest, this is a part or a point at which I should be using functions just so I can change the dimensions later, but I don't really care. I'm just going to roll with this. What does 10 look like? 10's too small. Alright, so 15. I'm going to hit the check, and I have that cylinder. Now what I need to do is I need to make that truncation right here. And I don't have too much of the actual insert to make. I don't have too much space. I got maybe like 25 millimeters until I hit my upper boundary right here. So I am going to truncate it from here to, let's do up until here, like right about this reference point here. Just because I think I'm going to run into a lot of issues if I try to make it taller and or wider, and I run into my like little downspout for water to go into the basin. So I am going to make a new plane. I love making new planes. And let's look at it from the side. I'm going to make that plane maybe, let's just do another 10. How far does that get us? It gets us pretty close. This transparency is not really helping me though. I'm actually going to make it transparent here. Let's hit check. Edit appearance. Change to alpha channel. There we go. That's the kind of transparency I need. Alright, so plane. Let's go a little bit farther down because my lip, I believe, is right here. Yeah. This may be hard for some of y'all to see, but I'm just going to work with it. And basically, what I'm going to do is make it so that from here to here is some sort of truncated cone. Easiest way for us to work with that is I need to make a sketch now on this plane. So the sketch is going to be on plane 3. I'm going to use project this outer line. I could have even done that little point right there. That'll be fine. That'll work for us right now. And I'm going to turn off the reservoir base. Again, I'm making a reference so I can loft from here to here. And what we can do is I'm going to make a circle from our origin, if that's the right origin. It is not. Let's use project that. I'm going to make a circle from our origin point here to there. So I made a sketch. Now I can hopefully do a loft from here to here. Yep, sweet. And now if I turn my reservoir base back on, and let's turn that alpha channel back up so we can actually see what we're working with. I have this guy hiding out in there? That might be a little bit too close for comfort, but we'll roll with it. So what I want to do now is start to make this portion of the insert pot. Now this is going to be like pretty much flush, a little bit offset from this outer wall right here. Again, probably thinking about like 0.5 to 0.7 millimeters, which what I should probably think about doing now before I get too far ahead of myself. I should think about dimensioning this and making it a little bit smaller. And the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is if I delete this reference right here. Because I don't want them to be totally touching each other. It does not make sense for me to do that. Okay, so let's make it 40. A little bit of a gap there is ideal. So now that I have this, I am going to make a new sketch on this top here. I'm going to turn off plane 3, and I am going to use project this inner shape here and this shape right here. Now, turning off reservoir base, this is what we're left with. I need to now offset this and this, flip it to the inside if it lets me. Oh, because that chain, let's clean it up first. This chain and this chain need to be clean. Offset again here, here, flip it back in, and let's hit enter and then just type in 0.7. Alright, so yeah, let's work with that. I'll work with it. That'll be a weird lip right there, but whatever. Let's just change that. Let's make this 39. Check. Check, check, check. Cool. If I wanted to continue making this part right here, what I can now do is select these two shapes and hit extrude. Now we got to turn our reservoir base back on because right now we're like breaching where we want to be. What I should do is use some sort of reference here. I don't know if I can use up to face. Oh, I can. Alright, cool. Now what this allows me to do is over time like adjust things as needed. I honestly should probably make it a little bit wider too. Question is, how far were we up? So let's just change this face right here that I extruded up to this face right here. Okay? If you follow me so far on that, we now have a shape that looks like this. All right? What I should be able to do is start a new sketch again on this surface right here, and I need to use project this shape and this shape onto that. So now I am left with this drawing. What I'm going to do again is use offset, our little Snoopy fellow there, and again I should learn my lesson and trim before I do that. And I am going to click these two and have them come inwards. Again, let's try 0.7. 0.5 I could probably dial it into on my 3D printer, but we're not going to try that just yet. So I have all these different features leading up to where I'm at right now. I'm going to turn the reservoir base on again. I'm going to click on hopefully this, and if I hold shift this, I have two distinct sketch features that I can now extrude again all the way to where I want it to go, which I do not need a measurement. I can just say up until face, and that face is going to be flush with that. Okay. Weird part here, though, is that last extrude was not an extrude add, so I'm going to try extrude adding it. It probably just didn't know what to do because it was touching the green as well as the gray part 2. So now I got 2 parts. Sweet. If I look at this, I don't want both of them to be transparent. I just want this one to be transparent, if it lets me. So I got 2 parts. I could clean them up a little bit with some fillets and or some chamfers. I'm not going to do that just yet. What I will do is I'm going to rename this to insert, and we are going to try shelling this. So again, shell tool up here at the top. I can click this guy, and there we go. 2.5 millimeters is probably a decent wall thickness. And I really should consider doing some fillets or some chamfers in here to clean those edges up, but we're cool. We're cool with what we got right now. So I got the insert, and really all I gotta figure out now is how I'm going to pop some holes in the insert. Now we're going to turn off the reservoir base because we don't actually need the base anymore right now, and we're just going to look at this part on its own. Now, easiest way for me to go about popping some holes in this thing is I'm going to look at it from the bottom, and I am going to create a new sketch on the bottom surface here. If I do that, what I should be able to do is kind of use my origin as a reference point and make a hole. Now, holes, if we look back here, I didn't actually look at this before, 2 millimeters is probably a decent size hole for us. Who that be? It's Caesar. I'm on Twitch right now, so I'm just streaming how to model some stuff. So what I am going to do is I am going to use a circular transform on this, and I am going to click on this circle that I just made. Now, how many have they got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can double click on this, make it 7, and then I got something similar. Now if I hit check, I have my circles there. All I gotta do to get this initial hole popping action going on is I will do an extrude. I'll do an extrude remove, merge scope from our insert, and then I've got those holes. They're done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, in order to do the other holes in the sides of this, that's going to be a little bit more tricky. We're going to use the similar function, similar tool. I'm probably going to make 1, 2. I'm going to do 2. I'm not going to do extra like the 3. I could do 3 in a row. That's probably easier for me to do than this, but yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I should be able to, should is the key word here, make a sketch on, let's go back to our front plane. Now this sketch, I'm going to make another hole on it, and this hole is going to be referencing our origin point that we have, and I'm going to make a hole right here, and I'll make, if I make them 2 inches maybe, or 2 millimeters, I could do 3. I might be able to get away with 3. Yeah, let's see what we get. Well, anyways, let's make these equal to each other. Alright. And then can I make them symmetric without a line? Not really. Can I do that? That? Yeah, it needs a line. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. This from here to here. Let's make it 3. Ooh, it doesn't like that at all. Oh, because they actually are constrained now. Yeah, whatever. Let's just delete this guy. We don't need him. I'm going to extrude. And what I'm actually going to do this time, which is I'm not going to do a remove. Doesn't make too much sense for us now. We're going to make a new extrusion. And it's going to the towards the front view. What I actually want to have it do is go in both directions. So I'm going to have it do a second end position. It's going to go 2 ways. And what I want to do now is copy this thing around. So I want to copy and rotate it at the same time. So we should be able to use a transform for that. We could also use we might be able to use a circular pattern, but I'm just going to use transform because it's kind of just what I know. And we're going to do rotate, and if I hop into my initial sketch actually for the reservoir and turn that on, I'm going to have an axis. Okay. So what I can do now is select my entities. Ooh, I messed up my axis. I gotta go back. And turn off that sketch. What I'm going to do right now is I am going to tell it 45 degrees is what I want it to be at. I'm going to tell it to copy the part. And what I should do, I probably could get away with a circular pattern at this point. Let's just try it. Entities to pattern, I want an entity. This axis of pattern, I might actually just be able to tell it like, oh, I had the make connector. There we go. That make connector. Yes. Is this gonna work? I think. Can I just hit check and then I'm done? Sweet. Alright, yeah. Delete. We don't need you. So circular pattern, what I should do, instance count, let's make it 6. Can I do 7? Whoa. That's a lot. I don't know if the printer's going to be able to handle that, but let's just do it. So now that I have all these parts, what I want to do is actually turn them into something that'll make a whole. So target is the insert tools. Let's just select all of these parts if it'll let me. Can I just like select all? It's not happy with me right now. Oops. Alright. And boom goes the dynamite. I have my insert. So now the next step ideally would just be to print it. I am going to throw this on here. And now I have an insert and a reservoir, and I can turn off front. So look at this again. Insert reservoir. And we have our little piranha plant, Mario self-watering planter. I actually might still have some green filament lying around here, so I could try printing this later on and take a pic. So this one, a little bit more intense, a little bit more complicated to figure out. Not terribly hard, just more steps. There are many different ways you can model it. It is up to you how you want to model it. Again, what I was telling you previously is if you go through my documentation, you can model it in Tinkercad, you can model it in Onshape, whatever you want, and that leads us into our next step in this little stream, which is me showing y'all how to model in Minecraft, which y'all should probably kind of know how to do, but really, honestly, the cool part of the stream is how to export it into something you can 3D print. It's quite simple. I've been doing it for years now. I think the first time I did it was like in 2014 or 2015. Let's leave this where it's at. I think I left this in the chat, and I'll timestamp certain things as I can if I go back through, or maybe I'll make some brief clips. But next step for us is to kind of go through and try modeling in Minecraft. I want to take a quick break though. I just want to heat up my coffee, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set my transition